Hi everybody, Emily here out at Agraria. Welcome to week 23 of the Big Map Out, and today and this week we're doing birds, and specifically this week, best friend birds. What is a best friend bird? It's a bird that's around people, structures, and buildings, and a lot. They are common birds to the area here in Southwest Ohio, and they also like to give out a lot of vocalizations. They like to talk a lot. They tell us what's going on around us, whether they're singing and happy or alarming and telling us about maybe a cat or a dog that's around. So a best friend bird is close to us down by the ground. A couple of birds that I want to mark for all of us to look out for this week. One is the Carolina wren, right there. Look at that kind of golden underside, that white streak. These are field marks. A field mark is something that distinguishes a bird from another one, so that colors and like stripes and things like that. Let's see, then we've got the American robin. Look at that. They call it a redbreast. Really, it's rusty, isn't it? And like a dark back and that white eye ring and yellow beak. American robin like to hang out on the ground a lot. Song sparrow, they're more the mid canopy, but they're a beautiful bird that's around this time of year. And the song sparrow is another one. The fourth one is a dark-eyed junco. Now they're going to be leaving here very shortly, and they have maybe already left for northern, for the north, but we can look for the dark-eyed junco, and then also the northern cardinal. They are that bright red, and then look at that kind of black beard and eyebrow, and that crest. That's another field mark of the northern cardinal, that crest. So come on, let's go outside. Come on, let's go. Now, before we go outside though, remember from a couple weeks back when we wanted to be quiet so that the birds actually want to come closer to us, and our zone of disturbance comes closer this way, and our zone of awareness goes out more. They'll come in a little closer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause. I'm going to open the door just a little bit and maybe listen. See if I hear any birds. Open the door slowly. I'm going to pause, relax my shoulders, and look out. See if I see any birds already right away. And then I'm going to start to take a couple steps and pause. And look around slowly. And take a couple more steps slowly with my fox walking that we did a couple weeks ago, and pause. And I'm going to do that all the way to my sit spot, and then the birds will feel even more comfortable with me, and they'll come in closer sooner for me to observe. Try that. So here I am at my sit spot. Now I'm going to sit here for a minute, 5 minutes. I'm going to look for my best friend birds. I've got my field guide out here with me so I can look up which ones they might be that I'm seeing. I'm going to look for the Carolina wren, and I'm also going to listen maybe for the Carolina wren. And the Carolina wren has a lot of different calls, but the one that you might hear, they sound like a waterfall. They go brr, 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 brr. They're very trilly. Let's see, the American robin, you might hear their song. Or they might sound like tuck, 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 or peek, peek, peek. Song sparrow, their song is so beautiful. They start out with 3 clear notes of the same pitch. Bum, bum, bum. Very staccato if you know music. Bum, bum, bum. And then they do a trill like, but it's always different. So 3 notes, zip, zip, zip. So listen for those 3 notes. That's a song sparrow in the beginning of their song. Dark-eyed juncos, we're not going to really hear them singing right now. They kind of have a really high-pitched little trill. I don't hear them very much. and they're a little shy to see. So keep your eyes in the shade for maybe a junco feeding on the ground. And then a cardinal. Oh my gosh, we're hearing them so much these days. They sound like cheer, cheer, cheer. What? They're very, very excited for spring, and they're singing their hearts out. So listen for those backyard birds. And the other thing to do as well is to get to know that bird over time. Where does it like to perch? Is it preening? Is it going for its feathers? Is it feeding? Is it singing? Is it alarming? And then a challenge is to come back the next day, and if you see that cardinal, or later even that day, if you see a cardinal in that same tree, it's probably the same cardinal. They like to hang out in the same area right now. Their territories are actually pretty small. If you see a wren on the ground nearby in a bush, and then you see the next day that it's kind of hanging out in that same spot you were noticing in your sit spot, it's probably the same wren or another of the couple that maybe might nest there. Also look out for nests too that you might be seeing. So have fun looking for those best friend birds. Our extension this week is to use our journals and draw an up-close picture of any birds that we saw. So this week I saw a cardinal. So I made a little sketch and put in some field marks of that black part of its face and its crest. And I labeled it Northern Cardinal and the date, March 19th, 21. And I wrote a little bit about it too. This cardinal was perched high in a tree by my back door singing its heart out. So you can write a little bit about what your best friend bird was doing in your backyard too. And now we're gonna map our findings. So today we heard and saw a robin singing over towards the east. And so we marked it with a song, some musical notes, and I even wrote down robin. Then over here, we kind of had a mystery going on. Right by the picnic tables, we saw a bird, but we didn't know what it was. So we wrote a question mark, but it was feeding. So remember from our past lessons where when we mark on the map a bird feeding, it's 3 seeds together in a sort of a triangle shape. So I have some looking up to do to see what bird that was. Go ahead and mark your findings on your map and have fun.